Wizards Beyond Waverly Place just ended. This is the sequel series to Wizards of Waverly Place, which I was a massive fan of, still kind of am. Um, and yeah, so I really was excited for this show coming out. It ended up being disappointing. The show was always going to be a little bit disappointing because Selena Gomez was the main thing of that show. And that show relied so much on her and Justin's chemistry, but she cannot be in every episode. Disney does not have that kind of money, nor would she want to be in that. She's older now. She's fine with coming back and cameoing, but I guarantee if they had asked her, hey, do you want to be in every episode of the show? She's like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm an adult married woman now. You know, she's a wonderful human being. Love Selena Gomez. But yeah, you just watch a lot of this and you're like, yeah, she would not want to do this, right? And so I'm watching this show, understanding that. And so we kind of just have to take this new version of things set up in this show to kind of run with. I think the actor who played Jerry came out and said that he was disappointed that not all the original cast members came back together. But I'm just like, what did you really want? Right? I'm not sure. I'm definitely disappointed by, the actor playing Max. Really didn't get mentioned by any of the cast and crew as to why he didn't want to come back, or maybe or what was going on with that, because it feels very weird that, hey, we got Mason who came back, kind of. We got Harper who came back, kind of. We got Jerry and Teresa. We got Alex. We got Justin, of course, is one of the main characters. We got a villain from a one-off episode, or well, a two-parter episode that I guess was popular but kind of forgettable. So you could just kind of like, I don't really know where we're going with this, but it did seem like, okay, we're doing this show, and it does feel like, man, I wanted a little bit more. But I think the show still stands well enough upon its own. I think the ending it's got, we'll talk about that in a minute, isn't great. Because basically the first season of this show starts off with a really clumsy setup where Justin's just having to take in this little girl. Alex wants her to take them in, but she doesn't really have a reason for that. Also, Justin is living a human life, not working at WizTech, which is really dumb because his dream life, WizTech, felt like that character's happy ending, and now we just undo it. We get very few mentions of our vampire girl, that he was dating, mostly because Bridget Midler is not that person anymore. She runs a whole company now, and she would never come back to the show, but it did feel like, okay, well, maybe you could have had a better explanation of what happened, just in some passing dialogue, but whatever. So you have this clumsy setup for everything. The two boys don't have powers, and then they later get powers, and all that. I'm like, okay, the show starts to get better and feel more like seasons 1 and 2 of the original show. Season 2 starts to feel more like the original seasons of the show. Magic antics, getting into trouble. But, with actors that are once in a lifetime generations of talent, like Selena Gomez and David Henry, like, they're great, but there's no way you're ever going to get anyone as good as Alex and Justin. I mean, even Max, I guess, was kind of like that. So there's good things about the show, but there definitely is a sadness to it of like, oh, we're never going to be as good. And it doesn't really need to be as good as it. It is a fun show. It did what it needed to do. It gave me some enjoyment. But it does mean, like, honestly, now that I watched everything, I can't really ever see myself going back to these episodes, especially as an adult. right? At least the original show had the nostalgia to it, but even without the nostalgia, I think I still could have watched some of those episodes and still have a good time because they're good episodes with some goofy writing for the nature of it being a kids show, but it's still good. And those cast members do such a great job that I had fun with that. Let's talk about the ending of the show. The ending of the show is kind of not the show's fault. Basically, the show gives us a reunion between Alex and Billy's dad, and that's great. I'm happy with all that. It kind of, dealt with Billy's fears of learning to manage her powers, which was a main plot line throughout the show. And I thought all that stuff was sweet and charming enough. But it just, the last season, there were so many talks of a wizard competition that isn't mentioned at all in these last few episodes. We're never going to see the wizard competition. I hope they do kind of like they did with the original show. After the original show ended, they did the Alex versus Alex movie. And I hope that they do like a movie that catches up with the characters later, and we get to see the wizard competition for this family. But at the same time, I guess it would have been repetitive. We'd seen that before. But also, I feel like the wizard competition's weird now because now that you actually bring Alex in as Billy's real mother and all that stuff, you get this weird kind of thing of, well, okay, she's not her mom. They're not actually related, so I guess there wouldn't be a wizard competition just between the two boys. So I guess that's kind of the thing here. There's so many clunky things about how this premise ended up working out of the show, but I think it was good enough that I had a good time. And I would say if you're a fan of the original show, is it worth checking out? I don't really know, honestly, because a lot of things I liked here, a lot of things I didn't. It was clunky overall, to say the least. Let me know your thoughts, like, share, and subscribe.